Hello, my friends. Good morning. Welcome. So today I am going to go through some articles from my Medium Weekly Digest that I found quite interesting and some are funny as well, like you can see on the screen. So if you don't know me, hello, my name is Abdallah. I am a software developer for the past decade or so, and I am based in Mauritius, and I am very passionate about programming, speaking, training, writing, and so on and so forth. So I've been working in multiple industries. And what I like doing is to share my knowledge and mentor others, and also try to not only do technical stuff, but also try to boost programmers or in general IT professionals' productivity. So let's start with the subject of today. Daily stand-up. Daily stand-ups are a waste of time. So what do you think about that? So Mr. Gautam Kumar is sharing this article, and I think I won't have complete access because I'm not a member, but it has garnered quite a few claps and event comments. So let's begin. Do you feel the same? Daily stand-ups are a waste of time. Why do you say that? Why should we explain everyone what we did? Oh, you see it that way. Every morning I skip my coffee to attend a loud meeting. Why do we need daily scrum and why daily scrum is important? Let me explain. That's quite interesting. So just before I continue reading, my opinion is that it might be a good thing if you're working in a team, but otherwise it depends. For me, if you do it well, I think it's worth it because it brings a sense of accountability, and on the spot you know who is blocked with what and how it can help. But I also think that it tends to break flow by flow. I mean that let's say it's in the middle of the day, you're already in the flow, you started working in the morning, and then you have this meeting, so that can break the flow. But not only this, but let's say you have 1 week to develop a feature, and every day you have a meeting. This can break your concentration because you need to think what you say and so on and so forth. But for me, I think it's a pro thing. So let's see what Mr. Gautam is saying. One of the team members told me that daily stand-ups are a waste of time. I agree. Don't you agree with me? Why do we need daily stand-ups anyway? Maybe it is a good opportunity. Let me zoom my screen a little bit. To drink coffee together, 15 minutes breaks to check our email, thanks to work, la la la. Maybe it is a chance to see who is in the office, if back to office is a thing. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Let's consider. Wow, so many things to read right now. What usually happens in the daily stand-up host? Good morning, everyone. Let's get started. Welcome to Daily Scrum. Team member 1 starts describing what they did yesterday and what they're going to do. Team member 2, 3, 4, or iterating the same lines. Is this what you do in your daily? Then definitely daily stand-ups are a waste of time. Interesting. How important is this for anyone in the room? Maybe a little for few if they are listening. You might ask what's wrong with it. This is what we are coached to do. Major flaw in this type of daily scrum is it lacks purpose. Hence, it is a waste of time. So what is the purpose of daily scrums? The purpose of daily scrum after daily stand-up is to inspect progress toward the sprint goal and adapt sprint backlog as necessary in adjusting the upcoming plan work. What did you do yesterday? Now what are you doing? Daily Scrum is not a status update meeting. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. I mean, we all make this kind of interpretation, even myself. And what I found, what I think is that many companies in Mauritius or abroad, but I've worked mostly with Asian countries, but yeah, I've worked both European countries as well, and we have the tendency to put it as a daily update status update, but not everyone. I've noticed this, especially those who are well versed in Scrum, in Agile, and they do it well. Like yesterday, currently doing, am I blocked or not? So it's good. And of course, other who loves just sharing this life story during the Scrum, and so funny sometimes, but I like it. I actually like it when team members share funny stories or anecdotes, because sometimes, often actually, it makes the day more interesting. Maybe because I'm more of an extrovert. Okay, it is not mandatory for Scrum Master to host daily Scrums. It can be done by any member of the Scrum team. Oh, I didn't know that. But yeah, we don't really host it. What should be the structure of daily Scrums? So, well, at the end of the day, this is a long story. It's not that long, but actually, wow, you have so many others. It's like a series, and you can read about it. Who are developers? What are the accountabilities? So what I like with Scrum meeting is that you are accountable to others, and this is quite nice. And sometimes, but at the end of the day, let's say you don't have anything to do, and what do you say in public? So I don't have anything to do, fair enough, and so on and so forth. So other times you might have worked on a bug or ticket and you achieve almost nothing. Then what do you say? So I think Scrum is important, but more important is the team culture, is the team like, it's not toxic. By toxic, I mean that micromanagement, for example, is present, or you need to always be doing something, and so on and so forth. So it doesn't matter if you want to read this article, daily stand-ups are a waste of time. You can catch it up here. So let's move on with the next story, member-only story. So I don't think we'll have access to it all, and of course I won't be reading it completely. There is a shift happening in programming. I first noticed it in my Flutter application. I was originally planning to build a macOS version of my iOS app because Flutter supported it. Okay. Then Apple Silicon happened, and now Mac can run iOS apps. He introduces it by saying, I want to talk to you about one type of app to run on these new Macs. We haven't Okay, so right off the bat, I'm not getting the gist of whatever is happening right now. So let me think. Let me just go quickly through it. It's very, it's good. It is a good article. Yet I don't understand what is happening. And I think it's just that native apps are dead, and most probably they are going to switch to Flutter or React Native. I'm not sure what is happening. So I need to pay for that? No thanks. This is also a new member-only story. New JavaScript pipeline operator transform anything into a one-liner. So this is something that my friend Hussein will be interested in. And not only him, but also functional programming enthusiasts. So just let's see what's happening here. So the article is on Coding Beauty, JavaScript pipeline operator, new pipeline operator. So we have an array here of string. We have three colors, blue, red, yellow. And then we are going to map them to lowercase. Then we are going to join them. Then we are going to capitalize it. So I think the first one will be capitalized. So we have the result right now. Because capitalized is uppercase, only the first letter. So it becomes a single string. And then we are going to console log it. So we are going, this is introducing a side effect in functional programming terms. So this is very, very interesting. I thought that I would love to share this story, and pipes already exist, not by default in JavaScript, but you can use libraries like the-fp if I'm not mistaken, but there are also others that permit the use of pipes. So you also have it with RxJX, which is a reactive programming library, and it has like reactive programming, functional programming. They share a lot of commonalities, even object-oriented programming. But this is for another scope, another. It's not in the same scope of this article. Okay, so let's just go quickly over some examples. So with the pipeline operator, you will stop coding like this: cons, lowercase, hyphen. Yeah, so yeah, right off the bat, you can already see that it is a beautiful, like this one is, it contains a lot of noise, especially the cons. You need to describe different variables in terms of performance, not right now, because I don't think it really matters here. But if you are going to access, let's say these statements are part of a method, and you're going to call the method like a million times, and let's say you have side effects in this, like you're going to do database call. So this can be, or you're going to be working with huge set of data. So it is going to, just by the main fact that you are using so many variables, it's going to be slower. And of course, there is the garbage collection that is going on. So all of that helps reducing the clutter, make the code much more cleaner and right off the bat. So it's also a more declarative approach. So you just say what you want, and it will figure it out for you. Obviously, you sometimes need libraries, but I really enjoy this kind of programming. And let's see what's next. Pipe. So this is very interesting. I'm looking forward to use this. Refreshing, clean, and elegant. All those temporary variables are gone. Yeah. Not to mention the time it took to look up all those names and type. Not everyone types like the Flash object. Unfortunately, yeah, this is a very good point and funny one as well. But like you already see, it's so much clearer. And like language, if you're going to write with Elixir, like Husserl usually do, I think it's very beautiful, eloquent language. And how do you do that in a more, so using in a more, let's see this example, in a practical way. Using the JavaScript pipeline operator clears out the clutter to boost readability and write data transforming code, basically all code in a more intuitive manner. So that's quite interesting, to be honest. Verbosity should be avoided as much as possible, and this works so much better to compact code than reusing short name variables. Yes. Wow, this is let blah 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 blah. Yeah, so this is another way of doing things, and we are just waiting await and things like that. So I think I don't have access next, and I don't mind paying for this kind of high quality articles. Thank you, Mr. who is the author, Mr. Tari Ibada. Nice, very nice article. And I'm thinking that the next part of this article is all about transforming this noisy looking code into the pipeline. So I'm also curious about how the pipeline can help dealing with await. So this is very interesting for sure. I know that RxJX deals with it differently. So let's continue to the next article. Member-only story as well. Programming languages to learn today and others that are slowly dying. So let's look at that. I think it might be more subjective than objectives. So let's see. One of the most daunting tasks of a software engineer is to stay updated on the latest trends and technologies. There's a constant barrage of new things to learn, but we can only do so much. Yes, that's true, we don't have so much time. As we start working on a new technology, other stones are left unturned and somehow even put back into the ground. Yes. That's why about the data and method. The data comes from the Stack Overflow Developer Survey. Yeah, so I usually participate in it. I think I did participate in 2023, a yearly survey asking developers a wide range of questions. Each year has around 70k respondents, quite nice. And so yeah, very interesting. Let's go right into the meat of the subject. The survey has several questions, but the one we are looking towards, what programming language the responded? Oh, la, la, la. Okay. So it's has work. So the key word here is has work. So not want to work or has heard about. So let's see. Full rankings below. Below is a data visualization showing the rankings of 37 signals now. Different programming languages for the 3 years. The number inside the circles shows the percentage of respondents working with that language in a given year. For example, JavaScript has ranked number 1 3 years in a row. Wow, that's quite interesting. So kudos to my JavaScript friends, JavaScript developers friends, and JavaScript developers in general. And in 2023, 63.9% of the respondents said they're using JavaScript extensively. So let's just go right into this. Wow, it's long. No, let's do it like that. So rank 1 is JavaScript and has decreased actually. And HTML, CSS. Is HTML and CSS considered to be programming languages? So that's a very interesting question. Since they are here, so I would assume they are programming languages. Python, SQL is really in demand, I agree. TypeScript, okay, very interesting. Bash Shell, Java, C#, Java. Wow, it's quite interesting to see Java above C#. And these 4 languages, I would even say these 5 languages, Java, C#, C++, C, PHP, or C-type languages, in the sense that their syntax are quite similar, verbose, with the use of curly braces. And PHP is quite still in demand, ranked 11. Then we have scripting language, PowerShell, Go, and more general purpose. So Rust as well. 14. Interesting. Kotlin, Ruby. Ruby has decreased a bit, Kotlin as well. Then you have Dot, assembly, and so on and so forth. So am I looking for something that I did Lips at university? Or was it Prolog? I don't remember, but Prolog and Lips are, I think, a bit similar. I forget about them, but these are really interesting programming language. So Elixir is not that bad. It is ranked 27 though, and in Mauritius I've never heard of a job looking for Elixir, but Elixir is a very interesting language. And so on and so forth. Crystal, COBOL, APL. APL, I've heard about this, by the way. This is quite common language. It's 0.3, but I think it's used in let me remember language programming. Let's use data type. Wow, I cannot person. Okay, it's array based. And F# is quite below. Erlang as well, which is used to power apps like WhatsApp and Discord. So it's good to see all of that. So if you are a JavaScript developer and you do front-end, right now I can say front-end is really dominating the market. So there is no going wrong as a front-end developer. And apart from that, there is also the backend. Backend is mostly SQL, but you can have NoSQL. You can be having like data tables type of technologies like Azure Data Tables, for example, Azure Storage, and all these cloud technologies, AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud Platform, so on and so forth. So what we can immediately see right of this, in my opinion, is that frontend is the most in demand, and then you have Python, of course, with machine learning, AI, and even backend development for frameworks like Flask and Django. You also have SQL is like backend part, and nowadays the most backend work is not only SQL. It's like you also need to integrate it with third-party APIs. So this will depend on the technology. So I think TypeScript is up here because it's related to the front end, but I think it's also used a lot with Node.js on the back end. But my intuition is that it's used mostly with front end. So clearly, front end dominates the programming language, as from the result we can see right now. And then you have more backend languages or full stack, or not only web development and Java. You can be working on Windows OS Enterprise UI, for example. You can be using we call that Windows Phone in C#. Now the name has changed, and you also have embedded programming with C++ and C as well. C is also very popular with gaming, and PHP is it has decreased. PHP was number 10, and now it has become number 11. So I don't think it's really relevant. PHP frameworks like Laravel, Symfony, CodeIgniter, and even WordPress, Drupal, they are very, very popular and still used a lot. So, wow, that was very interesting to talk about this, and I think we can talk endlessly about this subject. So let's move on. What happens when you reach the age of 35 as a programmer? It's not a retirement age. Well, I'm almost 35. So this is going to be an interesting read, very relevant to me. Thanks yourself, Cruz. Member only story, so I think those stories are quite interesting. I might even want to pay for that. Okay, everyone in the IT industry has heard about the programmer retirement age of 35 theory. Nowadays, I think such things are silly, and probably few people in the world still believe this. But when I was a newcomer, I was afraid I would. Okay, yeah. Okay, so here we have the author introducing the topic and saying why he thought about this. The theory is that it will not be possible to keep up with the new technology acquisition from around 35 years old. Why? It's a very good question. I heard from a senior programmer who cared for me when I was a newcomer that human brain stability declines with age, and from around the age of 35, it becomes impossible to acquire knowledge. So I think it's false, but indeed, I've seen many of my colleagues from the past, my seniors and leads, changing from programming to management, to project management, to doing training, and some others also have switched entirely careers. So maybe this is right or not, but what is not so interesting is that we are already out of this, and this article I need to pay the case. The world of IT is constantly evolving. Okay, so unfortunately we cannot go any more than that. Doesn't matter. So how to have better habits in 2024. So I'm just going to throw away this cool article, I think, by Ryan Holiday. Ryan Holiday is like the stoic author and writer, and he loves writing about these kinds of philosophical stories and around this theme, stoic. And I've read like 2 or 3 of his books, and he's very eloquent. And so I just thought that we can just throw it here, and it can be relevant to IT professionals, so for developers, QA, so on and so forth. So we are not going to read the whole thing, but I don't even think we can read anything more about the first one. Think small. So this is going to be the introduction and some stuff related to self-development, introspection. So of course, maybe I'm going to put more emphasis on articles that are longer and are free. And of course, if this is interesting and if you want to see me do more of these kinds of articles, let me know, because I think they're interesting as well. And I've been using Medium for like so many years, and it often suggests me wonderful articles. So let me know, give me any feedback, even positive, negative, what you want me to cover more, and let's see where this goes. Thank you. Have a nice day ahead.